Welcome back, everyone, to ROADIUM Radio episode 358. And before I introduce my very special guest, just a few minor announcements. Today, if I look a little dark or burnt, was doing a little filming today for a special event that's taking place. There's three major companies that have gotten together. They're collabing to release something in September. If I'm correct, that's the date. And the main guy requested me to DJ. He wanted me to spend that day. So I said yes. We got the contract out. I got paid. So in September, these three, if you will, companies are going to be releasing something huge. So be on the lookout for that. The more we get closer to that date, the more I will be able to share and eventually have some of those people here promoting this event. I'm not sure if it's going to be an open event, but if it is, I want to welcome all you guys to come through. There's going to be merch, there's going to be music, and you're going to be able to see me DJing there. First time you guys are going to see me live because I've been DJing since the 80s. So other than that, I just want to thank all of you guys, everybody who liked, comment, subscribed, everybody who's in the live chat, everybody who decided not to be on the live chat. I just want to thank you guys. My guest today is somewhat of a surprise because I have to confess something to him. My boy Gotos, he connected me with him a couple of weeks back. I think we did it a week or 2 weeks ago. And I had totally forgotten. He hit me today and he says, hey, are we going to do this interview? And I was like, oh, man, I guess I dropped the ball. But you know what? We all make mistakes. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce Twisted Black.
Man.
How are you, sir?
Man, pleasure to be here, man.
Man, you know what? First and foremost, thank you for coming here. And thank you for forgiving me for forgetting that I had the interview. And that never happens.
Yeah.
That never happens. But I'm going to give a shout out to Gotos because I had told them, look, bro, I got a lot going on. So please hit me a couple of days before.
Absolutely.
And it never happened. So my apologies. But other than that, before we get into who is Twisted Black and you share your story, you had brought up the Sugar-Free interview.
I did.
Uh-huh. And what was it about it that I guess that made you bring it up?
I got turned on to him in prison, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm watching him, a seasoned guy, really spitting bars, and then some of the guys from out that way, was co-signing it. And so when I saw him on your podcast, right, because I do so many podcasts, and they don't know how to really ask the right questions.
Yes. To
extract the good answers. Mm-hmm. And he was on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
And then you could tell that it was authentic if you kind of cut from that cloth or a street cloth or whatever. He wasn't just putting on for the camera with some gimmicks and all of that type stuff, you know what I mean? So I enjoyed every clip. I was following it.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I'm going to tell you something about that interview. Okay. The reason why it didn't take off immediately, that interview, as weird as that may sound, okay, because he has the highest views on our podcast, okay? The reason why it didn't take off was because he told me, don't promote it. Let's just go live. And I said, bro, I want to tell people, and he goes, no, let's just go live. So he gets here late. He goes, I want to go eat. And I was like, bro, you're already an hour late. And he goes, I just want to go eat. So he goes to my boy's restaurant and he starts drinking. He starts getting buzzed.
Right.
Then he comes back and then he says, I want to smoke a cigarette. And I'm like, all right, bro. So then he goes, you got anything to drink? And I said, what do you want? And he goes, some Hennessy. We opened up some Hennessy and he had some Bud Lights. And then from there, so because we didn't promote it, it hit like 20K immediately, okay? But my team right here started saying, let's just make some clips. And before you know it, it just took off. It went.
I was waiting on that's how I got really turned on to you. Like I said, I happened to look at the picture. I'm like, wait a minute, is this the one where he was? I say, man, Buddy was on it. You know what I mean? Because it was, because when you watch a podcast or if you really cut from that cloth, you want to see some real shit. You don't want to see these dudes up here. Oh, his camera roller, then he turning up and all that. All that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to see somebody that's just really spitting some venom and it's coming from the chest.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Absolutely. So I know you guys flew in today.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you guys fly in from?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas. Is that originally where you're from?
I'm originally from Detroit. Let me rephrase. I was born in Detroit, but yeah, I'm originally from Fort Worth, Texas, because I've been there since I was 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'll work. It's like kind of like when my family came from Mexico. We lived in Compton till I was like about 9.
Okay.
And then I live here in Wilmington now.
Right.
But it's funny because people always tell me, how come you just don't claim Compton? I said, well, I lived here over 40 years.
There you go.
You know, this is where I'm from.
Yeah,
So
it's your roots, you know what I mean? But at the same time, everything about me was Fort Worth. You know,
okay.
I got paid there, got shot there, went to jail there, you know what I'm saying? Made babies there, so shit, you know.
Dallas Cowboy fan?
Absolutely. Don't do that. Don't. Oh, okay, my man. My man, we ain't gonna fall out early. Yes, sir.
Oh, good. No, I was telling your brother as well, too. I'm a Cowboys fan. Been a Cowboys fan for years. And you like college ball?
Absolutely.
Who's your team?
I take Michigan or UT or anything TCU. Anything coming out of Texas, because if one fall out, we got so many options.
Yeah. I like TCU, but I'm a Notre Dame fan. What about basketball?
Yeah, I like basketball.
Who's your team on there?
Pistons and the Mavericks.
Pistons and Mavericks. Have you been paying attention to the OKC and Indiana?
Absolutely.
Who do you think's going to take it?
OKC.
I think so, too.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Those two teams, they're hungry and they're playing their asses off, man.
Man, both of them good.
Both of them are good.
Both of them are good.
Look, if Indianapolis wins tomorrow, I believe it's tomorrow. If they play, then it's going to go to Game 7 back in OKC.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to say, may the best team win, because I got OKC winning right now.
Right.
You know, but we'll see what happens.
But the thing is, though, I think because both teams are so good, neither team can let up for the whole game. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
I think those young boys in OKC, they know they got to go up there and steal one. It's going to be a hell of a game, but I think they're going to pop them tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're going to pop them tomorrow.
Hopefully. But they're probably going to go to Game 7 just to make more money. Of course. So, okay, now let me ask you this. Come from a big family? A lot of brothers, a lot of sisters?
No brothers, no sisters. My brother, my brothers are like my best friends.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have any real siblings, you know what I mean?
Okay. I come from 5 brothers, 4 sisters. I'm one of 10. I'm the number 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm blessed to have a big family, but I do have a lot of friends that were the only child.
Right.
You know, now growing up, did you ever, because I know my buddies that were the only child, they wanted a brother or a sister. Did you ever feel that way?
Bad. Then what happens is you leech on to a friendship sometime more than that friend is leeching on to you or latching on to you, right?
Yeah.
And then you get, taken advantage of because, me, I used to be a knucklehead, so motherfucker really latching on to me just because I was a knucklehead,
Right.
I mean? Yeah, so.
Yeah, okay. Well, growing up in Fort Worth, because you said you were there since you were 2, what was it like in your home? Like, what type of music was being played in your home as a child?
Oh, man, see, now that takes me back to my Detroit roots. See, my father, I used to go back to Detroit every summer. See, my father was like a real street guy from the west side of Detroit.
Yeah.
Right? And he had record shops, all over Detroit.
Record shop, vinyl.
So, yeah, vinyl. 45s and whatever, 45s and whatever the other one was, 33, whatever.
Yeah, and I think some of them were probably, I believe,
12 inches.
Yeah, but they were like 78 or 75, the speed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you had like 3 or 4 speeds on that bad boy. So I grew up, with the Motown sound.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? So I grew up with the good music.
That's awesome.
That's one of the reasons why the music that I do today is different. You know what I mean? And people are like, man, why you still, you could be doing other things. You did all that time in jail. You still doing, man, music. I would do music for free. It's the same way what you was spinning. Do that for free. That's my passion.
Yeah, you know what? It's because we did it because we loved it. We never really chased a paycheck. And I know this story is probably old to a lot of my listeners, but since maybe you don't know it, I'll share it with you. When I first started in this hip-hop culture thing, I did it because I loved it. I never chased a paycheck. Me and High C got a record deal because we were releasing mixtapes at the swamp meet. They were selling. And Disney, who was forming their first record label, came to the swamp meet and looked for us and said they want to sign us off of a mixtape. We weren't even looking for a deal. So I say that to say that I wasn't looking for a bag.
You was doing what you love to do.
Doing what I love to do, release good product, and money came knocking.
Hello.
So you got the good music. You know who I was bumping last night, man? Mary Wells. I love me some Mary Wells, bro.
Throwback.
Yeah. Okay, now let me ask you this. It's not a trivia question, but I have to ask you because my buddy got it wrong. 2 Lovers by Mary Wells. Do you remember that song?
I do not.
Okay. She says, I have 2 lovers, and I love them both the same.
Right.
2 lovers. Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
So Is she talking about one guy or two guys? From what you can recall.
I always thought two.
See, my buddy thought the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was bumping it, and this is when I was working over here at Ralph's, and I was cleaning. I was in sanitation, and I was cleaning the bathrooms. And he walks in, he goes, "Oh man, that's the shit." And I was like, "Yeah, you like the song?" And he was like, "Hell yeah, this girl is fucking two dudes."
Yeah, because you were saying a lot of I don't want to let one go, and yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was, I said, "I want you to listen to the song again. It's only like 2.5 minutes." So I played it again, and the first verse, she says, "This guy, he treats me kind. He loves me. He like respects me. You know, all of these good qualities." And then she says, "But my second lover, he treats me bad. It makes me cry. He, makes me mad. But I can't deny that I love him." And then at the very end of the third verse, she says, "And both of them are you."
Oh wow!
So she's saying that this guy, and
yeah, definitely, he was bipolar.
he was. That's exactly what my boy said. He goes, "Oh, he was a bipolar motherfucker," and I was like, "Yeah,
just like the rest of us." So yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Well, I'm glad that I got to share that with you because I love Motown music. I love soul music, man.
Right. Yeah.
So now, growing up in school, man, were you a smart kid?
I'm gonna say I was pretty intelligent, right? Because I could do it, but I wasn't smart enough to do it. If that makes any sense,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't think it was anybody in the class that could do something I couldn't do. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I was on a different path.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I preferred not to go to class or fight in school. Just knuckleheads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but
Did you start ditching in elementary?
no, I did not. I didn't start till middle school.
Okay, middle school, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I graduated to 6th grade because back then it was 1st grade to 6th grade. Okay. And then you started 7th grade out here, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Right.
And then high school, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Right.
Okay. I was smart in elementary, but when I got to junior high school, it was too much freedom. 7 classes to go to. It was just, that's when I started.
That's what happened. Like, shit, I really ain't got to be here.
Yes.
That's why he laughing in the background because we was ditching together. Yeah, middle school. Middle school, like.
Okay, just to ask, be a little nosy. When you guys used to ditch, what did you guys used to do, man, as kids?
Okay, look, we used to smoke. That was number one. We gonna smoke.
Cigarettes or weed? Or
weed.
Okay.
No, cigarettes wasn't even heard of then for us. We finna get high. I'm finna rap. make a tape, and we gonna ride up to the other high schools.
Oh.
Yeah, looking for girls or me. I might be on some bullshit with my partners. We gonna ride looking for enemies and
right.
Just shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what was, if you can paint us a picture, what was the gang life when you were in middle school? Because for out here in Wilmington, I'll tell you what it was like. It was this is one hood. It's called Wilmas for Wilmington. There's the east side and then there's the west side. And both of them were big in junior high, okay? Then you had Bloods from Carson that were coming over here. There were Samoans, Filipinos, etc. And then there were Bloods from Scottsdale, okay? So there were blacks, and then you had a few Mexicans that were Bloods, but it was predominantly essays and Bloods, okay? Very, very few Crips, and if there were, you were low-key, because this was a Blood town, okay? And crack didn't hit until I was like in 9th grade. And then that's really when I saw everything freaking change.
Yeah.
Can you paint us a picture of what it was like when you were going to junior high?
Yeah, I paint the picture, but the people from Fort Worth, a lot of them won't like it, right?
Okay.
But I paint it. There wasn't no gangs. Wasn't no gangs. When I was in middle school, wasn't no fucking gangs.
Really?
Man, we didn't get gangs. The colors came out. Real talk. They ain't gonna tell you that now. They go act like it's stapled in it. But for the newer generations now, it really is in their DNA because when it hit Fort Worth, it went crazy. Like 91, 92. Like when I got this scar on my face, we were the murder capital of the USA.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because they went crazy with it. But school, there were no gangs.
Can you hear me? Yeah. You guys just give us a second. For some reason, we're having technical difficulties. We rarely ever have this, but we're trying to switch angles and it's not allowing us. So he's going to try to go to the center and it's not. Okay, you guys just hold on a second. We're going to try to figure this out. Okay, you guys, the only way we're going to get this fixed is that we have to restart this over again. And I know that's cheesy as hell. So please forgive me. I don't know what else to do, but this is what my boy's telling me because we're having technical difficulties. So we're just going to restart it and pick up right where we left off. We were talking about middle school, but we'll be right back. Okay. So give us, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. We'll be right back. Let's go.